guys, Tank Tuesday. I do apologise for the delay in this build, but we'll get around to it. So the 1/16 King Tiger tank. So I've already done like the unbox and a little look and the history on the tank and stuff in episode 1. I know this should have come a week after, but shit happens. Section 1, I'm going to basically be installing all these little brackets here, and I have a bag of them for these. And I'm just going to be like screwing those onto the insides here, screwing them from the outside using thread lock, and this bag of 2x6mm screws. There is then a couple of plates to bolt in through the back, and also a couple of rails in section 2 which then have to be bolted down in there. They'll go a specific way. I think it's that way, but anyway, but then I can get it primed and painted in the light sand Tamiya, which was basically, I've ordered the paint and that's recommended in the manual. I'm going to use everything else in the manual that come with it to build it. It is a vintage build, so why not? The only thing is, once I've scuffed all this and hedge primed it and got it painted in the light sand, that will give me more of an idea as to whether I do actually need to paint this, because technically that is in a light sand and the mouldy plastic that comes with this kit is light sand, or what appears to be, but I won't really know until I can get that painted. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can show you how one of these go in and the rest are just the same, and then I can get that cleaned up, painted, sanded, then ready to move on and start putting in like the suspension parts for the wheels and tracks, I guess. Kind of a learning curve for me, might be a learning curve for you. You might be experienced with it, so you know, if you notice me doing anything wrong, do feel free to let me know. And if you're a troll that just likes to comment for of it and delete your comments, then why not just remove yourself from the channel? Do us all a favour. So on the back of this bag, it actually tells you what's in there. You have 71 2x6mm screws, and also on the B bag, if you flip that, you also have the contents labelled out on the bag, which is a cool thing. You know, still a lot of RC companies should still follow through and do this today, because this makes life so much easier, especially if you're a novice builder. So yeah, that takes a lot of the hard work out of it, like putting screws at side of diagrams and stuff just to see if they fit. But yeah, I like that. So taking these little things, and is literally just gonna put it in the inside to go. Yep. So keeping the profile of both edges to the outside basically, and they're just gonna seat in there. And then what I want to do is take 2 of these 2x6mm things. Ooh, it's coming now. Dab a liquid thread lock. A sec. And when you got that in there, you can just screw them up tight. These are little crossheads, by the way. So it's just a case of, I'm going to repeat that now for the rest of them. So that's one side completed. Just to basically flip it over now and repeat that process for all these down here. And then we can get these plates on at the back, the little plates in there, and then I can get all this scuffed up and ready for etch priming. So there we have all these little mount things fitted. So now I can move on and put these little things on in the back, and they do go a specific way around. So to the inside, which I would presume is the rear as well of the hull, you can see there's like a twin hole there and a single hole there and two at the other side. So you're literally just lining them up. And same principle as them, same screws, and we're just gonna mount it with 3 via 1, 2, 3, the singular holes from the outside, leaving the double ones. I presume they'll be used to attach something else later on down the line. But yeah, for now, so it's just going to be the 6 screws, all the singular ones to the inside of the chassis there, and that one will go on the inside here. So with all the suspension housings fitted and these plates, we can now move on to part 2. These rails here, which are in fact torsion bar stays, so it's only 8 screws for this bit. So there's the inner hull and the brace things, torsion bars, McDoodar things, they're in the way, they're in there. Next after this is actually fitting like the torsion bars and some suspension bits which go on the side, but I would like to get this painted before adding them and all scuffed down. There are going to be alley parts that are going to be going onto it as well, like for example these. So I'm not sure whether to actually install them and then paint them, or I don't know. I don't think you're going to see them, but I know you're definitely going to want the hull painting, because you're not going to want like a solid galvanised body under there realistically. So yeah, I'll probably just roll with what I'm rolling with at the minute. Like I say, I've never done a tank before, so, and when you're trying to paint it and replicate something as well, as I've stated, I'd like to do this like more polished livery. So I shall just proceed to go and scuff this, I guess, and we can get it all hedge primed. I just quickly mocked up the torsion bar just to get a feel for how like they all go together, because they do go together a bit weird. But yeah, I think I cracked it. So there's only loads more left to do, but as I said, I'm going to have to scuff this and paint it, so I'll check back in once that's all primed, I guess. Oh yeah, and I made a start on getting all the paints in required, like I'd stated. Still a few more pots, so I best get those ordered. And then, yeah, have fun doing this King Tiger. And here's a little something that I'm just doing in my own time. Vintage Tomcat from '98. It's an old kit, but yes, it's nice. So, got the hull done. all primed. It's not the whole complete hull yet, but I do believe it's like ready for paint. And without making it awkward and bolting all these like torsion bars and suspension bits and bobs, I'll probably brush paint those, because it's just, you're just going to get a load of waste of paint trying to paint underneath all the little like suspensiony bits and bobs, and you're just going to end up with loads of waste. Now, trying to get the correct colours in like Halford's paint and stuff it's not that easy. So I am having to use this expensive Tamiya stuff for a damn 100mm tin that's just crap paint. So I don't really want to be wasting that. So I'm going to paint the hull in the light sand, then light sand the other bits and bats with a brush. So we'll get that done now. I have that here. TS46 light sand, and these are just all the other bits and bobs of paint. They're just all the codes that are in the manual, so I just got everything needed. Whether we'll need it all or not, I don't know, because I'm doing the Polish livery, not the German one, so we'll see. So it's just had a quick first coat. It seems to cover the more like it comes out. It didn't look like it had covered, and it did this with a Lexan body I did. I'm not a fan of Tamiya paints, in all honesty. Don't know, they're just not the best. But another coat, and I reckon that should be good. So I am sorry if this video isn't like my normal build videos, but my head is up my arse, and please just be grateful that you're actually getting a video. So I'm gonna make a brew and let that just go off for 15-20 minutes, and then I'll go and put another coat on it. And meanwhile, I'll just put this back in a pot of hot water. Realistically, I don't think I am going to need to paint this hull thing, whatever, that bit, the top half, that's the hull in it. Now I'm colourblind, and I can see that it's not exactly the same. It is slightly out, maybe only by a shade, I don't know, we'll see when we add another coat to it. But that's going underneath the tank anyway, so this technically has been moulded the best it can be in a light sand. So to save using like another tin or two of primer and probably another 55 cans of Tamiya paint just to cover all these plastic parts basically the same colour, I'm not going to bother doing that. I am just going to leave this and maybe just paint onto it, I don't know, because it's going to need priming, innit? Well, I'll have a week to think about it from when this video is released to the next. So yeah, I'll just get back to making a brew. Yeah, it does look to be going a bit like darker, but you're not really going to tell, are you, once that's underneath? That is like sand. Surely you can just brush paint onto this at least, just to get like the green markings, or put them in an airbrush without priming. They are acrylic. In fact, coming to think about it, when I used to build these as a kid, I never primed them. You would just brush the acrylic paint onto them. So yeah, I am going to leave all that like fuss out just for the sake of probably a very, very slight shade. Because these were always fine as a kid when I was building Spitfires and stuff, so I don't know. We'll just stick with what I'm doing. So that's the hull. I just need to let that go off now, and then I can start doing little bits on this video tomorrow or something, ready for next Tuesday. Like I say, the next part, got that done, and now we got the hull primed and painted, and we have all these out ready to go. As you can see there, you know, you start putting paint under them and stuff, and when it's all wet as one, and then they have to move and flex, you can end up damaging your paintwork. So, and as you can see, it would be a waste of paint. So I think the brushing method on this when it's all together, maybe. You're not really going to see it. It's going to be hidden by all the wheels and the tracks and stuff like that, but I just know that it's done. So the next one for me, I'll probably try and get done maybe parts 3, 4, because there's not that much. It is repetitive. It's all just repetitiveness. And then we'll move on to 5, possibly getting that plate in, and then yeah. So 3, 4 and 5 for next time. Mechanism deck, lower hull, the front and the suspension arms. So thanks for watching. You know the drill. Ciao for now.